No! No, please, not my small dog friend whose name I'm almost certain was something along the lines of Lovely Keith. Who could have done some awful, dastardly thing to you like that, my small dog friend? I mean,
we live in a society. It's me, Topbog Spoff, here to cause trouble for no reason.
Spoffbog, I knew it was you. You dastardly man could have only been the one to do this to my small animal that is Lovely Keith. And you as well. Short one, no, hang on. Short one that is actually really not short was just misnamed. You are to blame for also these events that have occurred to my small animal dog. I will take my Santa vengeance on both you and your friend, Jared Leto. Oh, I'm a Dwemer. Fuck off. Get out of here. I shall use the powers of my friend Sleipnir to travel to 3 different worlds simultaneously at once, and it's very confusing, and I'm sure I'll explain it better in the video. Come to me, horse that is Sleipnir. Nay. Hello, I'm Sleipnir. Fly, Shadowfax, like the wind. Welcome to the adventures of Vengeful Santa. Yesterday, we completely broke everything. The whole universe itself collapsed in and, well, completely corrupted the save game, so we can't carry on with that whole series. But now Santa, to ensure that the world never becomes corrupt in the first place, has used his magical Santa powers, which he definitely has, to Superman it and go back in time to prevent it from happening in the first place. And there are, of course, 3 people, technically 4, but fuck another series about Jerry King. There were 3 people also involved who could have helped stop the madness of Topbog Spoff, Topbog being included, obviously. One of them, the mighty Dwemer King Rakung Thunch from our previous series, the Dwemer Contingency earlier this year. And then, of course, Minotaur from our previous series based in Greece, also this year. Santa is going to travel between Tamriel in the Elder Kings mod to the land of the Game of Thrones mod, and then also finally to the mythical land of Europe to try and stop each one of these characters, to undo and try and fix all of the problems we've caused in the timeline. And you're probably wondering, Mr. Streamer, is that just basically not going to be 3 different series, but an episode from one day and the episode next? Oh no, my friends. I have put together the most ridiculous mod you've ever seen in your whole lives. Santa will retain whatever traits, whatever artifacts, whatever skills, whatever he inherits in one hit series will move on to the next one, and one episode will continue over to the next. Santa will be linked between the Game of Thrones mod, the Elder Kings mod, and base game CK2, and it's gonna be complete madness. That means if we happen to make friends with Mehrunes Dagon in the Elder Kings mod, if we get Mehrunes Razor, we can take Mehrunes Razor and we can go and fight a Dothraki Carl wielding that. If we become a Dragon Rider in the Game of Thrones mod, we can take that into the base game, and we can burn a whole load of very angry Greek zealots in the base. It's gonna be completely nuts, and my god. There's a lot of background scripting going on here, so if last series blew up, this one's going to blow up even more spectacularly. Welcome, everyone, to the adventures of Vengeful Santa, spread across 3 different worlds simultaneously all at once. So, let's get on with it. Let's see how things do. Oh, please work. My god, come on, please work for me here. Alright, so, Santa has landed. Just give it a second to wake up. Game, don't let me down here. Any minute now. Took a little longer than I expected. Having succumbed almost entirely to the corruption of Topbog Spoff, Santa calls out to the Amaranth itself, reincarnating, if only briefly, as an embodiment of Shazar. In a state of Kime, Santa forces the Urbis of its failed reality to... Alright, that's enough, old man. Time for you to head home. But I was just about to get on to the part about the towers. Here, it's all written in my new book, Coda. Santa replies, waving around his heavily stained and hastily composed manuscript. The only place that's going is in the fire. Now go home and sleep this off. You're thrown out of the inn. What a crazy dream. Maybe it was all a dream, or maybe Santa truly is stuck between 3 different realities. Santa swears vengeance against the Dwemer people for the lack of action against Topbog Spoff, and that is reality 1. Taking vengeance and banishing the Dwemer to stop them from ever appearing in Europe in the first place. What happened in last series. You realize, also, by the way, we are Dragonborn. Santa is Dragonborn. That's how he gets all his powers. Who else would be able to control... Reindeer are basically just dragons, aren't they? They fly, they've got 4 legs. What else do you need? Hang on, dragons don't have 4 legs in the Elder Scrolls, do they? Don't worry about it. Not important. We also get a 4,500 men regiment because we are up in the equivalent of the Elder Scrolls North Pole at Mora. So, also, it's full of ice zombies, so I don't want it... Santa doesn't want to immediately get trumped by a bunch of ice zombies. We get a 4,500 man regiment in Yelkavik, which I assume is how that's pronounced. And, yeah, again, we're Dragonborn, which you kind of expect. You know, if anyone's going to be Dragonborn, I think Santa is definitely high tier, high priority. So, as you can see, he's inherited a lot of traits from the previous series. I've sort of watered him down a little bit here. Obviously, we didn't want to go too powerful going into things here. We are a Master Mage, because I think Santa, like I said, would be a wizard. I think it suits our boy Santa. And, returning from previous series, that's right, it's Sleipnir. The magical steed said to have carried Santa between the very planes of existence in his pursuit of revenge. Does what Sleipnir did last time as well. For those of all 3 of you wondering, no, this mod won't be ever on the workshop because I'd have about 15 different developers coming for my head. The enemy of the series, of course, over in Alftan, the place where we played, obviously, as Rakunthunch in the Dwemer Contingency series earlier this year. He has his 36,000 men, the High King of Skyrim, or I guess Dwemereth, as it should be more properly called at this stage. Ridiculous stats, 110 learning, which I think is kind of appropriate for the High Craft Lord there, and 851 personal combat. Now, because that's never enough in CK2, if a random Nord man with minus 13 personal combat happens to best him in personal combat, which given that it's CK2 is almost certain to happen, or say he gets blown up tragically in a manure-based accident in a plot to kill that somehow fired against him, that will not be enough to kill him. That would not just solve Santa's vengeance, nor will it solve the problem of the Dwemer in Skyrim. He will return. He has the power over time itself with Numidium or some fancy Dwemer magics. I don't really know. Your headcanon can fit that yourself, but they have power over time, and it will just undo, and he will return to his position as High King of Skyrim. There is only one way to get rid of him, and that is, of course, in a very Elder Scrolls style. We will have to banish him using the power of the Dragon Fires and some fancy dragon blood. So, we have to be either the Emperor of Tamriel, not the entire Empire, that would be ridiculous, the High King of Cyrodiil, or the Empress of the Cyrodiilic Empire, or Emperor of Cyrodiilic Empire right now, because I assume it's under an Empress. We have to be an Emperor, and we must either have Dragon Bloodline, so Tyber Septon's bloodline, for example, or we must have Dragon Blood, which of course we do, because we were born the Dragonborn, as Santa would be kind of expected to be. We must also have the very sacred Amulet of Kings, naturally, and we must also have a very sacred Elder Scroll reindeer. You know, the Elder Scrolls have various types. There's like Elder Scroll of Blood, Elder Scroll of Dragon, as we've seen in the Skyrim lore. This one is the legendary Elder Scroll Reindeer, the one with the power capable to create maybe a dragon break powerful enough to banish the Dwemer, like what they did to that big old dragon fella. So that is going to be our goal for this particular realm of Santa's reality. But like I said, you know, there's no reason why we wouldn't try and pursue other artifacts and other traits and other powers to take on to the other realms of existence with us. Maybe getting the Ebony Mail and taking it into Westeros would be quite a good idea. You might have already noticed we are also playing with some submods as well, one of which, and one of my favorite submods ever made for any game, the Landmarks mod by Bob Potato. All of these, by the way, will, of course, be linked and fully credited in the description, so go and check these out, of course, if you like them. Give them a download, give them a play, give them a comment, give them a thumbs up, and some ratings and some feedback especially. I really, really love this mod. It adds just a whole bunch of different various 3D models, which, as you know, I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for in many different CK2 mods. It adds the Adamantia, Crystal Light Lore, obviously the Imperial City there. My personal favorite being Vivek, because it even includes, if you look closely there, the little meteor that Vivek obviously keeps suspended over the city, which they use to keep naughty boys on, if I remember Morrowind right. Along with that, we also have an incredibly appropriate flavor mod called At Mora, the Land of Truth, provided to me by good, long-time friend of the channel and best boy, Foul Dettini, who provided me this over Discord, which has some variation, as far as I know, to the public release one, based on the fact that I gave him all of about 5 minutes to throw it together and send it my way. So, no pressure or anything. Thank you for the quick turnaround on that one. But this one adds a lot of flavor text to societies, event chains, whatever else, to the land of Atmora, which seems very appropriate given that there's just about fuck all else up here besides a ravenous horde of very angry zombies, which is going to be Santa's, probably his first big goal there. I probably do want to make that top priority given that, you know, those guys are probably going to cause us some trouble if left around. So, That being said, I think that's a decent introduction to the series. God knows if that made it. If that made no sense, leave a comment and I will personally explain it to you, the viewer, what the hell's going on with things once I work it out myself. John Santa. That's so good. Honestly, the portrait works so well with his clothes and everything as well. I'm not bringing back the webcam for the series because that was also horrible. But good idea, terrible execution. Anyway, right, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to be frank with you. I have absolutely no clue. Where did our troops go? Excuse me, where did Santa's armies? Oh, it might have crashed. Don't worry about that. Hang on. So we got to do the... Might have to do that intro event again. There we go. Yep, got it. Right, there's our armies back. Welcome. So, is that costing us... Okay, so we've got basically no upkeep. I think the first things first, then, let's invest some of this gold into being able to actually keep this army maintained. So it is it's a non-reinforcing army, but of course it does cost maintenance as well. That's going to cost us, it's not much, it's like 4 point something. There you go. So you can see 36 gold per year in mercenaries, but when we're making no gold in the first place, that's not ideal. So I do want to try and cancel that out before we get on with absolutely anything else here. Oh god, Tiny Town Market is not going to pay for it very much, is it? Santa's armies are all going to starve. Help. Tiny Market Town, right? Let's get that down to start with. And then we've also got Broad Wall over here. We'll quickly stick down another Tiny Town Market. Now, as far as I know, the more northerly provinces of this duchy that we're starting in are infested by, Draugr Dragon Cult there. So we do want to cleanse the undead from these, and I think that's an absolutely incredible place to start by doing a little bit of removal, shall we say, of a particular group of people. Welcome to CK2. We are about to cleanse some evil there, which gives a whole bunch of terrible bonuses, but I believe when it completes, it'll automatically flip it over to our culture, which is absolutely worth it. Now, as I recall as well, from the little bit we played on Twitch in Atmore and as the Orc, obviously testing some of these features, from what I recall, this can also cause a massive amount of revolts, and, 25% revolts there, so it can actually be more of an issue. I'm going to move the army up to one of these provinces. I guess we'll keep them in... I guess it won't really matter too much, will it? We'll at least move them up here ready, just in case a rebellion does kick off. That way, all we have to do is move over to the adjacent province, right? So we might just get lucky. They might spawn right on top of us there. We do also have a slight buffer away from Yonaskor there, in the form of this nice man here, Chief Just of Haugerheim, has decided to be a nice little body blocker. We could try and swallow him up, I guess. We've got Dejor Clemon in there, or we could just conquest him. What Casus Belli do we have against the Undead Horde? That might be a good question. Oh, we've actually got straight up Holy Wars. I assume that's what an Inquisition is, right? Yeah, 3% moral authority. Yeah, it's just a Holy War, right? Okay. Now, what I learned previously from doing that is we don't want a Holy War too much. Otherwise, we're going to have a whole load of Undead Uprisings and a whole bunch of Undead problems. We need to be very methodical about how we remove these Undead. We need to be very sort of thorough with making sure that the round we've got already is dealt with. You know, we don't want to be expanding out our borders and having rebellions, cutting troops off from our other provinces, then being obviously quite quickly sieged down. Now, along with that, I'd also quite like to leave Atmora because it's not really somewhere you want to live for too long. So, obviously, we don't want to get too close to Rakungtunch, otherwise we're just going to get clapped by... oh my god, these portraits are so good. Honestly, they're actually some of the best portraits I've ever seen in any CK2 mod. High King Rakungtunch with his 25,000 men and, of course, his beloved vassals. What is he doing? He's already attacking... Right, he's already attacking Great House Redoran, which is not good news for us, is it? We need to be very careful and tread very lightly here that we don't take any of his du jour land, otherwise he'll go for us. He might even just launch an Inquisition because, of course, we are a very weak, squishy target here. So we need to be very careful about how we tread. Luckily, he's not a rival, he's not our enemy, because, of course, Santa went back in time. This is before Rakungtunch and Santa first met. So, actually, we could... What about the squishy province of High Rock and Daggerfall? What if we go over to the Daggerfall Peninsula and try and set up a little bit of a base over there? That would put us in a nice position to actually attack into Skyrim. Actually, I should look around the map and actually see what's going on in the world. I'm trying to get my bearings. I don't really know the time zone right now. So we've got a Kamal Empress on the Ruby Throne. Why would that be? Okay, let's see the history here. So a Trebus. Okay. Oh, right. So this, as far as I know, is either the Kamal, the obviously the Akaviri, who get crushed by Vivek, or this is the ones that have been, or they've already been crushed by Vivek, and this is the one that tries to rebuild after that. Basically, the Argonians, and I think the Khajiit as well, don't remember, the Dark Elves, they all work together. Might be something to do with Outer Scrolls Online now that I think about it. What's it, the Ebonheart Pact or something like that? Anyway, Vivek, from what I recall, sent a big old tidal wave and killed a whole bunch of the Kamal invaders. This might be that character that gets hit by that tidal wave, or this might be after that. Don't remember. Either way, it's in a bit of a weird period period of Elder Scrolls history that I don't know a huge amount about. So, you know what, we'll focus on the important things, which is, of course, Santa right now. Ah, right in queue. Okay, I'm really glad I did move those guys up there. We could also have our marshals suppress some revolts, I guess. That might actually help out a very small amount. I doubt it, but we can give it a go. All right, let's get these guys on the council, then. They're not too terrible, are they? We do need a Magister, so I think we can... I've got to remember how to do this now. It's been so long since I feel like we've played the Elder Kings mod here. Employ a mage. Fjord has arrived in your court ready for employment. He's okay, I guess. I mean, 14 learning is not going to be exactly what we're looking for. Oh my god, I can't even employ him. What am I missing here? Oh, is that a magister like a priest rather than... I actually don't know. Doesn't matter too much, does it? It's look, not a big deal for the time being. We don't really have many courtiers to pick from, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. Let's get on with the sort of standard CK2 stuff before I get carried away with all the worlds and all of the invasions and whatnot. So I think, given that Santa has no children or anything right now, we do need to kick off our dynasty a little bit. Let's go for seduction, intrigue, fertility, sex appeal. Try and seduce a woman in our court. Obviously, marry them for the slight fertility bonus. Oh my god, we're playing with my submod. That's actually working this time, is it? It's not for CT. Whoa. No. This must be something from the... One of these must be true lust or heinous or gregarious. Is this my mod or is this the Elder Kings? I don't remember, which should tell you everything about how dedicated I am to CK2 modding these days. Okay, in that case, I guess we either want to go for the business... Oh, we'll go for family focus then. Business focus, definitely a good contender for doing that. Predominantly based on the fact that, of course, we are very, very quickly hemorrhaging gold. Let's start off with family focus and make sure that we've got an heir, otherwise that's not going to end very well, is it? Who have we got in our court? Have we got any ladies at court that would be willing to come and meet Santa? So court and women and married? No, it's just her and Shelf. So I'm going to seduce her first, just because obviously you can't, or not. Oh, right, of course we can't. Your character and their spouse love one another. It's a 1.5 times multiplier to their fertility. So, all right, I guess never mind then. We'll just go ahead and marry her. Santa's going to marry someone approximately 670 years his junior. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. To be fair, last series married a granddaughter. And Shelf and young Santa have gotten married. We can collect royal aid duty. 10 gold, weirdly enough, will go quite far. I mean, that gives us another 4 months of army. Although, saying that, they are going to get slowly whittled down by the amount of rebellions and whatnot we're going to have. Take the prestige? I'm not entirely sure. I guess we will take the prestige. Why the hell not? Okay, and then we'll also show bravery in battle. We've only got 19 martial, and I'm not feeling very confident about that -6 personal combat leading a vanguard. We could become king of Atmora. That could be quite fun. Obviously, no reason we couldn't, over a long period of time, develop Atmora into a sustainable place whereby we could launch some pretty strong attacks against the Dwemer Skyrim. That seems kind of appropriate. For the time being, then, that's obviously quite a long-term ambition. Will take a very, very long time to fulfill. When we groom an heir, fertility plus 20% obviously stacks nicely with our family folks and whatnot. Ensures that the dynasty isn't going to immediately go extinct. Again, Magister we can't set up, can we? So let's say that Yelkafik is our capital. I need to rename it. I think we need something a bit more Santa-y. Is there any Santa-based puns I can go for there? I'm going to be honest with you, I have absolutely no good puns here for the capital or the duchy. I've got one for the kingdom, though, but that's obviously going to take some time before we get up there, I think. All right, 100% on you. Goodbye. Is there anything, can we sacrifice these boys? Is there anything we can do with our prisoners that would make them useful? Or we can assassinate them. That does not seem very cash, but we ransom him out. Okay, I guess we'll hang on to him, because I very much doubt this undead skeleton in our prison is going to die anytime soon. Fair enough. Who are you? Dear young Santa of Broadwall, during your wife's visit to Reachcliff? Make an alliance with the Reachman. What sort of savage do you think? Fine, all right. Yeah, you know, any alliances. To be honest, that's actually not a terrible idea. You know, form an alliance with the Reachman or even the native Norths to try and overthrow Rakungthunch to some extent. Obviously, it wouldn't be a permanent thing because, like I said, he's got the power of time on his side, so we can just undo the damage we do, but it will set him back. It's stopping his progress, and that's the important thing. Hey, that was quicker than I thought. Cleansing evil removed from Scalanorn. We have at Morum. Oh, and it takes our religion too. Hey, very nice. We also receive a Sum of God or a random loot item of varying quality. Or not. Or we don't. Okay, that's also fine. Would we actually get something like completely... Oh, wait, Sleipnir needs to be re-equipped. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe we got like a small amount of gold. Not that it really matters either way. It's not going to make much of a difference at this stage. All right, that's cool. So that one is now completely cleansed. When Jotun is done as well, that's when I'm more than happy to go for some holy wars here. Maybe even try and subjugate this guy. Can we launch an inquisition from here, even though we don't share a border? Yeah, we absolutely can. Cool. So we'll try and slowly push him back over to the eastern side of... Oh my god, there are more Nords over here. Or Morans, I should say. Yeah, we'll slowly try and push him over to the eastern side of the frozen tundra there, and then... In theory, it'll be manageable, if not very easy to remove. And then, obviously, we are king now. Santa Claus is now known as the Dragonborn. That's incredible. Large groups of nomadic giants have moved into Broad War. Typically, these benign, semi-intelligent beings keep themselves... Ah, shit. Giants. And there's nothing we can do about that because I assume right now Mora has no Fighters Guild or anything. What do we have? We have the Bear's Craft. A loose association of warriors and raiders, Bearcraft was born into turmoil that gripped at Mora after Skyrim took her ties. Bound not by honor like the famous companions, but by the glory of battle. Ah, nice. We do fighting with the dragon that walk our lands. Why, yes, we do. I like the aesthetic on this one as well. Now, it doesn't exist. There are no members of the guild, unless it's some secret guild, whatever, very much doubt it. No, there we go. Fallen out of favor and no longer has any members. I've decided to become the founder and leader of the society. You know what? Fine. Can we rename the society? That's what I like to see in CK3 Paradox. There he is. The King Bear. You could tell just by looking at him. Santa himself. Young Santa, the Dragonborn of the Bears Chosen. What does it give for us? Field build cost, tribe build cost. That's a very nice starting modifier there. Month prestige as well. Oh, I like the sound of this. Members can receive very hard quests. That sounds pretty good. I imagine as the leader of the guild, we're the one giving the quest while they're receiving the quest, very similar to any other CK2 society. That's very nice. Is that something that's a new feature of the Outer Kings mod, perhaps? Members of the guild can choose to study or stop studying specialization. Oh, yes. Battle Mage Santa. Right, okay. And then, of course, we also have the Legacy of Isgrimor here, which I believe lets us go on a little bit of an event chain. So we have to rebuild the great shipyards of Yilkafik. Otherwise, we can't launch that one. So, what is that going to be expensive? We don't have the gold for it right now. Restore is going to cost us... It's not actually too bad. Costs us 2 gold per month. Is there any reason we can't go and raid either Skyrim or actually, I'm kind of thinking maybe even raid the... maybe even raid the Draugr? Raid their tombs or whatever the hell it is. That could be possible. Hang on, are we allowed to raid? We are allowed to raid. Okay. I kind of want to start that as soon as possible because obviously it takes a very, very long time to restore wonders. And if it's going to give us access to this event chain, obviously based around Atmora, I think that's kind of appropriate. I'm going to do it. We've got 518 gold in the coffers. We're going to have our market tribes built very soon as well. Actually, I'm more than happy to upgrade Scalanorn as well then. So let's go for a small market town there. Overall, this is going to give us plus 2 gold. So it's going to mitigate at least the wonder costs, if not quite our army costs as well. Hey, there we go. Nice. Very cool. All right, let's also get this one down as well then. Now we can really go for some more Holy Wars. And to be honest, if we were able to remove the whole of the Frozen Horde, we won't even need this army standing, huh? So let's go for it. I'm going to establish... let's go for an Inquisition against Helgeheim. That is his capital too. Very cool. And what's he got in his... Oh, map of Nern. That'd be nice. Movement speed, 10% monthly prestige, diplomacy and stewardship. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you, Yonaskor. Very generous. You, my friend, are the first step to defeating the Dwemer. I'm sorry. It's just, we're not even interested in undoing this horrendous undead menace. Just the Dwemer, mainly. I want to assault... Oh, God, the attrition. What's it like? Splendid. Let's say Splendid at 1k. Okay, let's split these armies in half. It can't. They're actually down as far as they'll go. Oh, because it's one unit, obviously. Okay, really, there's not much we can do. They are just going to die of attrition. Of course, that will cost us less maintenance, but we do want to get this war done as soon as possible if that's the case, so I'm going to be assaulting. Wow, did you see that? I think we lost like 1,000 men in a single tick then. That's unreal. While on the plus side, the attrition won't be so bad because there's more food to go around. Not in the form of bodies, just in the form of, like, you know, I mean, less people eating it in the first place. Really burnt through those men, my God. But again, that's what they're there for. They're there to be burnt through. We can't really afford the upkeep on them. Boom. There we are. Very nice. Okay. So immediately, again, start the cleansing on those. Excuse me, I said start the cleansing on those. Thank you very much. Let's get those done. We're going to build ourselves quite a nice little fortress here, and of course I'm not going to just release that more if we do end up moving to the mainland Tamriel. We will obviously keep this in and try and turn it into... I mean, basically we're going to be untouchable. I very much doubt anybody is going to have any Casus Belli, let alone even pursue any Casus Belli all the way up here, and even if they do, we're in quite a defensible position, I think. You know, heavily mountainous, we could get a lot of, hopefully some, say, winter combat bonuses that would help out a lot as well. Only then would the Nords, I think, actually be able to mess with us there. What about you? 122 men. You know what, I think also... I'd love to just vassalize him rather than wipe him out, but we've got to do what we've got to do. I'm sorry. We need this land more than you, my friend. I would happily make you a vassal, but I don't think you're up for it. Hey, there we are. Speaking of up for it, our wife is now Pergonat with the first ever member of Santa's dynasty. So, of course, in between realms, Santa will carry on his, like I said, his traits, his artifacts, his modifiers, whatever he happens to pick up. He won't, however, take along his whole family, because that would just be unfeasible. That's a lot of packing costs. You've got to sort out passports. It's just not viable, is it? So Santa himself will carry on, but he cannot carry other people throughout the realms with him. He does not have enough power for that. With my wife and child pregnant, I'm starting to worry if I shouldn't organize something special for this year's rite. Is it going to cost us money? I'm not sure I can afford that. Fine, there you go. Some money on old superstitions. I want to keep the piety. I just don't know that she's worth the 25 gold. 5 gold is more than generous. And we've really got to hope we can kill these undead, because we're about to wipe out our only potential ally on the continent other than this guy over here, but he's probably not going to be around for too long. Okay, I'm not going to... Oh, there we go. After a couple of days spending time doing the things I love, hunting, undead apparently, reading and visiting friends, life does not seem as great as it did before. He's gotten over his puppy very quickly, given how harrowing that was. Alright, oh. Our efforts against the drag people of Yokel have halted due to the province fall into the hands of the enemy? What? Ah, you shit. Okay. Right, well, let's force that through then. Am I going to restart the event? That's not really a big deal if I... Yeah, it's really not a big problem at all, is it? Right, there we go. Okay, so Helgeheim is already cleansed, so that's just a nice little bonus. So let's immediately start building yet another market town in there. Got to try and mitigate some of these costs that we're accruing here. Oh, Thendyar, Santa Son. Oh my god, he's actually quite good. Oh, or not. Dominion... Oh, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Intrigue +1, health plus 0.1. Okay, fair enough. Personal combat skill -1, though. Not necessarily so bad. Nord gives him martial +2 anyway. Born in the Steed, giving him more martial and more health. My god, okay. He's actually quite the warrior for a, for having quite a small stature there. Dragonblood gives him a whole slew of bonuses, and he's sickly. But given the health bonuses, and also given the Dragonblood as well, I have a feeling he'll probably be fine. What are we going to call you, young Thendyar? I'm trying to think, what were those Icelandic, the Icelandic Yuletide boys called? That's not quite what they're called, I would point out either. We had Spoonlicker, so we're going to go for Spoonlicker Sanderson. Welcome, my son. What a terrible name. We'll train him in, I guess, struggle, because honestly, he is the age of Babby, and he does have 7 martial. So I think we can probably trust this kid more than we can trust almost all of our commanders at this point. And obviously Sansa will educate him. I don't even know why I'm considering anyone else. Right, that's a bit unfortunate. I don't know what the hell we're supposed to do to mitigate some of these events. I always thought that that's what happened if you had, if you went over excess of your domain limit. But obviously we're not that. And we're already getting homeless people and giants. Maybe they're homeless giants. Maybe they are both. Which is why... So this one's got... Oh, this one's also got bandits. How are we supposed to fight this if we don't have a fighter's guild? Are we just going to accrue like a load of... when did they expire? My god, they also last quite a long time, don't they? 5 years for that? I don't know if maybe there's a building that we can mitigate with. I need to get up to scratch on my Outer King's mechanics. Bear in mind that we haven't really been in this situation before. That we've been without a fighter's guild to help crush some of these guys. Same as last time, we will keep our troops around or at least adjacent to the provinces where we're going to cleanse these undead in the hopes that it will help mitigate some of these wars. What's he reduced to now? 440 men. And he calls them in tribal style, probably because he is tribal there. Being an undead lich, I believe, though, or being a necromancer, I should say, I believe he can just summon event spawn troops, but en masse, if he's got enough learning for it, or sorry, enough magicka. So that we do have to consider. I'd rather not lose any more troops so we can avoid it. Like I said, those guys don't reinforce. Matt and Sansa, you've really turned your life around. All it took was a few undead incursions. I should always strive to look my best for my beloved spouse. There we go. We've lost a trait Uncouth as well. He's actually doing pretty well. And all we've got to do is get rid of Arbitrary and Cruel and try and grow back an eye, maybe get into shape a little bit and also become a genius. That wouldn't hurt either. And then Sansa, honestly, he's probably the best character we've ever had. Oh, for fuck's sake. What am I supposed to do about all these homeless people? Where are they even coming from? It's tundra. They're coming out of the trees. Is there anything we can do to stop that? Oh, wait, we can select hire bandits. Oh, right, those are the bandits in our province. We can hire them, can't we? And they actually do things for us. We have to be at war, though, so that actually might be worth it. I wonder if that will remove the province modifier. Let's bear that in mind. That might be good to remember. Okay, as a follower of the Animist faith, I am honor-bound to choose a spirit animal. We can choose the Merciful Whale, which gives us stewardship. I assume they all probably give animism opinion, don't they? This one gives general opinion and attraction. That's very powerful. My god, general opinion plus 10 is huge. Dragon opinion gives same faith opinion plus 10, animism and prestige. We've got Wolfman. It's going to be too difficult to try and remember all of this. Wolf gives martial fertility. Hawk. Honestly, I'm really liking that general opinion plus 10. That sounds very, 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 very useful. You know, we are living in a post-movement lock world, and anything that gives bonus to movement speed is going to win out on that one. The Hawk is Santa's patron within the animist religion. It's either that for me or the one that gives a plus 10 general opinion, which I believe was the Moth, right? Yeah, general opinion plus 10, and it gives attraction opinion. So any female rulers are going to get a flat 15, which is obviously very, very powerful there. Well, any female character is going to get 15 bonus. Then animism as well. We can land a bunch of female rulers as all of our vassals, and they would get plus 18 opinion with us immediately. That's nuts. Yeah, all right, we're going to follow the Moth. I think Santa would be summed up by a Moth. He is flappy. Not sure about that one, Chief. Not so sure about that one, Chief. Menka Santa's daughter looks very, elven. That's not racist. That's just a fact. She does not look particularly like Santa's daughter. Oh, what is this? Sparring with fellow fighters is an excellent way to hone my fighting skills. My god, we've become a gladiator. Martial +2, stewardship +2. We get another health, we lose some learning, we lose some stewardship. Who cares about that when we are up in the cold, harsh lands of Atmora? That's so cool. Very nice. Gladiator Santa. And you know what? As with the last series, I'm going to absolutely keep track of his many titles. Now he is going to be Mamillo Santa. Is that how you spell that? Sorry, I'm not really up to date with my Roman gladiator titles. Nailed it. It's okay, we're good. Mamillo Santa. Yon Mamillo Santa the Dragonborn. That is nice. And then we'll see how many titles we can accrue across our many different universes here. That's going to get confusing quickly. All right, can we hire a magistrate? We can. Gaful. Courtier. What a fucking name. Gaful. Welcome. Okay, so we can do magic anyway because we're a magical character, but of course having a magister means that we can kind of bypass that a little bit. What can we do then? Oh my god, we actually absolutely should go for like global. We want to go for bountiful prosperity or something like that to give us... transmute gives just flat monthly income. So transmute would be better in this case rather than bountiful prosperity. That gives us tax modifier. If we haven't got any tax in the first place, that seems a bit pointless. 32 magicka. This better be good because that's quite a hefty boy. Yeah, there we go. +3 monthly wealth. So that'll help cancel out the cost of the armies and the cost of rebuilding these shipyards. There we go, another one down, and that means another marketplace for Santa. We're not gonna go Merchant Republic this time. Don't worry about it. Merchant Republic, as much as I think it suits Santa as an entity, I don't really know that it suits our vengeful. I think we need to go like full blown feudal warlord this time. All the levy size, no taxes. That would be quite fun. I'm not going to upgrade this one until we've actually expelled them, because I'm not entirely sure whether or not. Oh my god, she's Pergonat again. Wife, Queen Anshalfa brought. She is Pergonat again. So, I think we'll leave this here for today. Things are peaceful. You know, we've carved out quite a sizable chunk of Atmora. Hopefully by tomorrow we can become the king of Atmora and start working on the plan, ready to head over to Skyrim. But of course, Santa has to get on his mighty horse and head over to the next realm, ready to start with progression over there, ready to continue with the plan against Topbog Spoff. Thank you all for watching this episode and this kind of ridiculous series that might end up obviously going on a little bit past the Christmas period because it's a little ambitious. I think it'll be kind of fun to see all of these varied goals going on with the same character and sort of seeing how one series will have an effect on the, or how one mod will have an effect on the next mod, etc. It's going to be weird. It's going to be very strange, unlike anything we've ever done before. In the meantime, a big thank you to the patrons for making this all possible in the first place. Thank you to Alchemia, Anthony Gawley, Asuna Kirito, Atmosis, Average Gamer 419, Bacon Kitten, Balek Strongbow, Ben Hoffland, Chesty, Crosis, Donald, Fakuna Vasquez, Gogolus, Harry McGowan, Iguanascore, James Shea, Jonah Waters, Justin Wallace, Caden Carter, Micah Mullen, Muskratful, Norstress, Necrofen, Pelvis Presley, Rodin, Scott, Skaz, Slippy Nips, Somnus, Shay, The One Ring, Tom Terry 18, Tyler Kendall, Tyler McLean, Vacuous Backers, Farragon, and William Green for the support, the insane tier levels on Patreon. Thank you for making the channel possible in the first place. Thank you for making YouTube still viable in 2019. This is going to be a long one. This is going to be a weird one as well, so please bear with me. It might take a long time to get some of these things up together and get them to full speed, basically. Thank you as well to Ubu Daddy, Asro, Adam Person, Adrian Ellison, Andrew Walsh, Andrew Wilson, Anchor, Attila, Betterman Max, Better Valerian, Blood for the Blood God, Boyne Gunn, Chris, Corgi Circus, Dapago, Don, Connie217, Emerald Beam, Foosh, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, Genji Zerka, Gothamo, Grey, Haji Dumar, I'm Sagate, Irotha, Icy the Great, Jackson P, Jay Lara, Jacob Wolfie, Jason Sushu, Jose, Jeebus Crust, Euron DeVries, Jessica Smith, Job's Lucky Sister, Jilly Vondel, Joseph Pierre, Justin Plot, Justin Rules, Justin Waters, Kevin Saunders, Lieutenant Dan, Lepus, Luan and Thomas, Luke Wallace, Manuel Bosic, Mastolp, Monty, Mercy Sampson, My Name Isn't Dio, Nathaniel Lindbergh, Nick, Organised Confusion, Pan Samu, Pantherpill, Peyton Denisar, Russian Oligar, Billionaire, Ryan Hooper, Sam Kears, Scaps, Shardul, Smirtworm, Socrates, Super089, Sweet Seed, Tony Levan, Volta, Voodoo Mumbo, Void Prince Cubo, Will Wade, Wilson Atef, Wolfie, Yellow4, Yorkus, Zach, and Zetlock2. See you guys all tomorrow for another episode of this nonsense. This time in the Game of Thrones world.